As our producer, Very Cherry, we are going to have the national anthems before this game here. First up will be the national anthem of Mexico, and then afterwards we'll have the national anthem for Argentina. And now the national anthem of Argentina. National anthem there for both Mexico and Argentina before this game. So quickly going through the rosters. First up for Mexico. Mexico playing, sorry, for Argentina. Argentina in the white and blue. Over to you, Mr. Captain Motorboda.
0207 Sosa. Number 087 Lea. Number 08 Pibe. Number 10 Chispa. Number 12 Cruz. Number 2, KQ. Number 21, Heavy Dolce. Number 22, Optimus Quad. Number 26, Vasquez. Number 28, Sanchez. Number 3, Diaz. Number 4, Borichello. Number 4, Moreno. Number 7, Black Shadow. And number 99, Donet.
And then that's Mexico, sorry, Argentina in the white with blue trim. In the red and white, it is Mexico. They are lining up with number 10, Ghost. Number 164, Carla Fu. Number 18, Michael. Number 25, Dr. Manhattan. 30 is Alex Strom. 316 is Trash. 47, Silencio. Number 5, Pablex. 51, Naked Alien. Number 6, G.I. Joel. 69, Party Boy. Number 7, Tango Man. 75, Nawal. 86, Trigger. And 88, Chino.
Chispa on the jam line, working his way on the inside against G.I. Joel for Argentina. Silencio for Mexico finds inside room and picks up the lead jammer for Mexico.
Yeah, this should be a very interesting contest between very different jammers. Chispa, very small, uses those edges work to run the lines, and Silencio very explosive with his movement dancing down the line. First point on the board though for Mexico, that is 4-0.
Well, he definitely demonstrated that a lot of Mexican-style jamming will be artillery, power, strength, push, where you're going to see Argentina avoiding contact, slipping, ducking, great lateral footwork.
Yeah. Well, we do have a different style of jammer here in number 12, Cruz for Argentina, going against Alex Strom, number 30. Alex Strom playing follow the leader down the inside, trying to follow Cruz through, but Cruz got shut down, as did Alex Strom.
He definitely followed him in for a block, not necessarily following him for a hole. So defense is the name of the game for Mexico. It's what has propelled them through this tournament.
Yeah, Mexico have been very, very impressive at holding jammers off. Penalty being issued to Cruz.
Alex Strom did get the lead jammer for Mexico, so now it's point scoring opportunity inside, wide open, Alex Strom for 4. Let's call that 5, as the jammer did get a penalty for Argentina. So power jam for Mexico. They are 5 against 2 right now. And Alex Strom threw another 5 raised in the sky. Plenty of room through the center of the track this time for Alex Strom.
Yeah, Alex Strom picking up 15 points already in this jam, and he's only got 2 blockers currently on track to beat. Cruz is back on his initial pass, I believe. Spins 360 down the inside line, completing that initial pass. And Alex Strom, he looks proud of himself there, firm nod of the head. He's happy with what he did.
That's the jam he was hoping to open for. A 19-point jam, a 23-point lead as we roll into jam 3. Chino jamming for Mexico this time against Vasquez.
Yep. Gonna see how this one plays out with 3-on-2 blocker advantage just in favor of Mexico.
A quick whistle for some organization back on the officiating side. All the conversations that need to be had, we will go in 5 seconds.
Crowd loudly behind that team. As it were, as Vasquez tries to find a space on the inside. Chino finds a gap down the middle, sprinting out for lead jammer.
Excellent work by Chino to find that space on the inside. Get skinny through the middle. This time exploding chest to chest off of a blocker from Argentina. It looked like Donet. That's a hard way to earn 5, but it was earned nonetheless.
Yeah, Chino taking full advantage of every mistake made by Argentina nice and early. And it's going to be an interesting game here as this plays out, as Chino bulls and bulls and bulls at the front. Penalty issues to Donet, who is now headed to the Cheese Balls Bearings penalty box.
This time Chino works outside the brace 3 wall, pushing him off the track, forced to run back.
Michael C. indicating from the OPRs there that his shirt was being pulled by one of the Argentinian blockers.
Oh.
No impact though, so no penalty.
Whistles about means the jam is over.
Yeah, KQ picking up a forearms penalty there right before the end of the jam, so he's going to serve 30 seconds in that penalty box. And it's a very depleted blocker line for Argentina.
Black Shadow down on the line for Argentina, taking on Carl Lefeu. We talked about this off mic earlier, but Pibe, the MVP jammer from the 2016 Men's Military World Cup for Argentina.
And 2014 as well, he was in the MVP
has
team.
not seen the track as of late. It leads me to believe there must be something wrong physically.
Potentially, maybe he is wearing the star on the bench currently, so maybe they're putting into a deeper rotation or just letting him assess the blockers before letting him have a run out there himself. But it's a power jam here for Mexico as Black Shadow gets a cut track penalty. Carl Lefeu, so experienced with his home league, and he's going to take full advantage here. He was about to call it, but saw the penalty coming. Didn't even wait for his bench penalty. He saw what's happening, carried on. They were well drilled here, Mexico. And
Black Shadow, given some leeway around the track, could have gotten a secondary penalty for not leaving the track in the proper amount of time, but because of the noise in the arena, some communication, some leeway there. It wasn't intentional, obviously.
No. One of the things that you always see with a great ref crew like we have here at the M14 track, they understand the trials and tribulations of hearing everything clearly. So I think there's Funk as Puck there, giving him a chance to hear the call as the star is now with Silencio. Argentina yet to score 6 minutes into the game.
Not going to score at the first part of this jam, as it is a power start for Mexico. Silencio quickly escapes to the outside. That was excellent footwork to avoid that block and get the lead jam position locked up for Mexico.
I believe White 28 there was in a false start position, and as he reacted to yield, his entire wall stopped, allowing Silencio to get a very quick pass there.
Pivot helmet cover on the floor at the end of turn 2 for Argentina. We'll see if that gets scooped up or kicked off.
Black Shadow now slipping down the infield, completing their initial pass. Silencio.
Carl Lefeu looks to the bench, gets the call from the bench to call the jam.
Silencio.
Sorry, you're right.
That's okay. We just had Carl Lefeu last time. But good call there by Silencio. He looked first to see what was happening with the Argentinian jammer and then looked to his bench. And Mexico looking very strong here early in the game.
Chispe on the jam line for Argentina, second time. So we're yet to see Pibe. There is something strange going on over there that I can't.
Potentially they might be using him as a power jam only jammer.
But I just have to assume that he's not 100%.
That is the other logical explanation.
Especially down 52 points this early in the period.
And another power jam being given away by Argentina, a low block by Chispe. So now down to 2 blockers, 3 jammer penalties for Argentina, 3 power jams for Mexico, and Alex Strom hates the no pass, no penalty. Goes on another scoring run.
Alex Strom popped up thinking he was going to get a free pass to the inside, and then out of nowhere, Optimus Quad met him chest to chest and stopped that momentum.
This is one of those times now where, as a former bench manager, I'm sat here going, they need a timeout.
Yep.
They're 10 minutes into this game, and they're getting
Mexico
really
in a similar situation in their last contest in the first period, about the 10-minute mark, and things started to get awry. They called the timeout. They switched the momentum. They got 5 straight lead jams after that. So,
as I said on a previous call, this is a game of momentum. It's very important here to maintain and protect it as needed.
Chino on the power start for Mexico. Room to the outside. Tonet and Heavy Dolce work the 2-wall.
Donet very experienced as Heavy Dolce working with him at the front. Drigger doing what they could, but Heavy Dolce living up to his name. Hard to move.
But sweet.
So sweet. Sweet but not very well behaved as Heavy Dolce heads to the cheese balls bearing penalty box for a sit down. Donet all by himself. Not anymore.
Chino with lead jam and looking to put points on the board gets smashed to the inside by Sanchez and calls off. It didn't get any points registered on it. First jam with no points for either side.
Problem there, Sanchez, though, picked up a penalty at the death low block. So they can't maintain more than 2 blockers on track at any given time.
This time, the actual Carl LeFou on the track taking on Cruz.
Yep. Cruz popped off to the inside by Nawal with the frightening black face mask. It does frighten me. He's lovely, but the face mask is scaring me. Cruz picks up a penalty, though. Was a cut track, was a dexterous gameplay?
Well, Nawal might be hiding his face, but he didn't hide from that penalty. Carl LeFou, though, did get lead jam. Is now poised to put points, a 2-on-1 blocking situation.
Yeah, unfortunately there, Nicolas Bagalo is worth all the points.
Well, the cavalry has just returned as Argentina gets 2 blockers back on the track to actually take a pack advantage against Mexico.
For a rarity here, Bagalo now going to serve the penalty. He owed the cheese balls bearing pox some of his time. Heavy Dolce and Sanchez popping Carl LeFou off in front of his own bench, but can't really gain anything from the situation.
There's the team timeout you were looking for, Captain Malice. And something leads me to believe that the intention on waiting on the timeout was to wait till they got their jammer out of the box so they could have at least an offensive possibility.
There was nearly a penalty issued to the jammer in the previous jam. That was Cruz, I believe. Cruz was conferring with his jam referee, and then there was a lot of gesticulation amongst them. I'm not sure, but the penalty call was rescinded as there is no power jam. So whilst we await the end of this timeout, gotta give them mega props to Bruce Skate Noose. Bruce skate straps. Skates don't quite fit quite right. Don't let foot or heel slippers mess with your game. Check out Bruce skate straps. They wrap around your boot and plate and keep your feet in place so you can improve agility. Be better with Bruce skate straps at bruisedsn.com.
So Mexico just had their pivot come out of the penalty box. So penalty overturned.
Looks like a penalty was rescinded there to the Mexican pivot. So they will have a blocker advantage here. I believe it's 2-4. Vasquez is going to have to fight by himself as Oscaras comes on for Argentina.
Silencio on the center of the track coming behind the pack of referees reestablishes position and is able to find inside for lead jam. But Vasquez also through. Silencio chooses to tap and call and restart.
Yeah, Vasquez had the advantage. I think the pack was not where he wanted it, so I'm not going to risk that. Vasquez. I'm saying Vasquez, aren't I? The jammer in the previous jam.
Yeah.
Was it Vasquez?
Silencio.
Silencio.
Sorry.
Vasquez for Argentina. Silencio was lead. It's the end of the day, guys. I'm very sorry. I've only just had a coffee.
Alex Strong to the outside, able to gain position but not lead.
Someone has lost their glasses. I believe it is number 4.
Number 4 for Argentina, correct.
Yeah. Bagalo skates with his specs. Consummate professional, though. He's not stopping to worry about being able to see. He's staying there. Who are missing? It's KQ sat in the penalty box.
There's your lead jammer, finally from this jam, almost a minute in.
Yeah, he
lost the jammer helmet cover.
Yes, but he still maintains the ability to have lead jammer status because it was lost during natural gameplay.
And Tangoman was able to get, or no, that wasn't Tangoman, excuse me, that's Black Shadow, able to squeeze underneath and get the helmet cover.
This is the first lead jam for Argentina over here in jam 10. But Alex Strom is on a point scoring pass, picking up 4. Black Shadow is looking tired at the back there. goes into tail gunning and trying to slow down Alex Strom and whiffs. And he's calling the jam now, but it's a bad decision there. He should have called that earlier. I mean, Alex Strom now on a +4 differential from the negative position. Tiredness, I think, playing its part there.
3 points are on the board for Argentina. But
yes,
as the coaches ascend to the center, official review is underway.
We should be able to hear from the head referee both the query and then the result of the official review from their microphone. We will have their alternate referee come out and confer with us just in case we do have any problems with that information being relayed.
And we may actually even get a look on the VMix replay of what is being discussed. We'll see if that comes to fruition.
We're getting high tech over here.
But right now, this official review is brought to you by Roller Derby Elite. Roller Derby Elite continues to be matching luxury with technology. Whether you play competitive league or skate in the streets with your friends, it's all about the experience. So go out there and skate. RollerDerbyElite.com.
So here we are, 13 and a half minutes into the first half of this game. Mexico with a commanding 69-point lead, 72-3. And I mean, Captain Motorboater, what can Argentina really do here to change things up?
I think the first thing that they've got to do is what we usually tell every team that's having a mountain to climb is stay out of the box. Yep. Keep your game clean. Stay within the rule set, keep your players on the track, and let the skill sets decide the game. You can't do anything positive from the penalty box.
Cannot disagree with that. Got to have your blockers and your jammers on track to score all them precious, precious points.
And we're not in an instance here where Mexico has been clean per se, but the amount of Argentinian penalties is doubling what Mexico is putting onto the stat sheet currently.
Yeah, it's a lot of unfortunate time penalty and an avalanche of them. They'll have 2 blockers in the bin. A third will get a penalty on track. They'll clear the box. A fourth will get a penalty, and they'll end up just rotating in and out. We do have the row.
Red team have used their official review. They were looking for a penalty to be assessed to the white jammer in the last jam for calling off the jam when they believed they were not legally awarded lead. The no penalty call will stand, but the red team will retain their official review due to an officiating error for the incorrect issuing of the lead call.
That is a very, very interesting call there, and I respect that a lot. That was a good, clear explanation by Trev. Any questions, though, you can, of course, tweet us about that, and we will, PM Schreff, if you know him. He's a lovely guy. But a very interesting call. Not seen that happen before.
It is officially the first time I've seen somebody retain and lose at the same time.
Yep. If you've got that on your bingo sheet at home, you can check that box.
Jamming for Mexico, Chino, against Chispa for Argentina.
Yeah, Chispa not had any luck so far this game.
A lot of games over a lot of days, and I think the fresh legs for Chispa are starting to get a little bit that cement feel to them. The skates weigh twice as much as they did yesterday.
Yeah, a couple of nations are bringing physiotherapists and sports masseuses with them to maintain their health as this game goes on. I remember in the previous game, I have seen that happen for quite a while. People are very aware of how much damage the legs can take over a long tournament. Chio does pick up lead jammer, and Chispa exits the pack, and he's so far behind. He's going to have to hope for a penalty. Nope. Argentina really need to change up their tactics here. I mean, the penalties need to clear away, but...
Look at the 4-wall stiffness, and Chispa just has nowhere to go. Yeah. Doesn't even have the awareness that Chino was coming and could potentially try to slow him down. So focused on that very stiff 4-wall for Mexico.
Here it is, though. It is number 08, Pibe, with the star for Argentina in Jam 11.
Jam 11, down 76-3. Argentina puts out one of the most electric skaters that you'll ever see play the sport.
A cut track is issued to Silencio. So they now have Pibe on for a power jam. Lead is open, and he's fighting with everything he's got. Gets lead jam up.
Oh, just at the very end.
Yeah,
Nahual.
Oh, what a player. He's done some great stuff for Mexico all weekend. 1-2 combo of Nahual and Party Boy. Can't stop Pibe, who is out now on a scoring pass. Drigger has left the box. Runs into the solid wall, including the heavy Dolce. Picks up a forearms penalty. He's going to go for a sit down.
You could see as he tried to come around the outside of that three wall, hooked with his right arm. It was almost impossible not to call.
And you see it happen a lot. It's all about if that action has the impact. And there, obviously, it was assessed from the OPR that it was impactful.
Ooh, Party Boy.
With authority.
Launching Donet into the inside, almost taking out a referee.
Yeah, with authority. Party Boy has done some of those great both offensive and defensive blocks for Mexico as well. Party Boy bringing the party.
Heavy Dolce disposing of Silencio to the outside of the track.
Trying to go offensive for Pibe there as well. Heavy Dolce can't do enough full wall in front of El Pibe, standing strong, and Heavy Dolce racks up a penalty there as well.
Silencio using the barrel roll technique to get out of turn 2.
No.
5 points there on the board for Pibe coming out of the penalty box.
It was either a no pass, no penalty indicated to Pibe, or it was a cut track penalty being issued to Nahual, as Nahual was given a penalty at the same time and exited the track. I believe it was a no pass, no penalty indication. I do think Nahual has picked up a second penalty in that action, though. I just saw the 2 penalty indication coming from the infield. Here we have the replay of Silencio around the outside.
Man, if you looked at that replay, it almost looked like Silencio's skate may have run out of bounds, and he escaped.
No, that was
free.
the cut track he got at the beginning. That's
excellent.
What that was, yeah. Carl Fu stuck behind a four as it is number 12, Mario Cruz with lead jammer for Argentina. Carl Fu hops over the downed Diaz to exit the pack cleanly.
Publix chest to chest around Cruz. Excellent one-on-one.
Cruz there getting caught up in a little bit of, not saying a tete-a-tete, but get caught up trying to ride the hit instead of calling the jam from the floor. Could have cost himself a couple of points. Bit risky in my opinion. Also
the block by Publix there one-on-one really allowed that 4 points to get put on the board by Mexico.
Publix has been fantastic so far this tournament. Publix and Naked Alien have worked very well together. That's a duo that have looked very good.
Naked Alien out.
Number 26 in white, Vasquez taking on Alex Strom, number 30 in red for Mexico.
And we have another helmet cover accidentally flying off, this time from Vasquez in natural gameplay. Alex Strom at the front with 2-to-beat. They let him go. Lead jammer Mexico. Michael C picking up a penalty there, as did Trash. Only one blocker on track from Mexico. Alex Strom only needed him to open up the gap there on the inside. Thanks his
Vasquez almost initiated that contact, but then took the worst of it.
Yeah, I think Vasquez was looking to take on the hit from Tangleman, and he took a block in the back, basically knocking him into Tangleman's shoulder. It was very much not an intended contact from Tangleman, but sort of that was a risk. Ooh. Sorry.
That is definitely something to go to the medic station and get a thorough check over before you come back to this game.
Yeah, right in front of me, that it was there was no malice in the actual contact between Vasquez and Tangleman. Very incidental.
97-12, Mexico leads Argentina. All of our replays are been powered by VMix, the live streaming software. Check out vmix.com.
Yep. As we have Black Shadow against Chino here at the back of the pack. And Black Shadow sees a gap down the inside. Naked Alien caught napping. I think a yield has to be forced by Party Boy. Broke part of the Mexico wall, and they weren't expecting it. Black Shadow took full advantage. Lead jammer Argentina. Chino's first time not getting lead. Shows what kind of game Chino's having.
Chino had been regulated to 4th or 5th jammer in the rotation earlier on in this weekend, but his work has pushed him back up to the top 3, what it looks like right now.
Yeah, you've got good deep jammer roster here for Mexico, to the extent that they can let rest Soy Tupero in this game. Cut track, no, skating out of bounds,
Skating out
sorry.
of bounds.
Yeah. So we are having now a power jam again to Mexico. Chino with the power jam.
Chino takes a hit from Victor, but maintains position. A 4-point pass for Mexico because of no pass, no penalty on that.
And that is Mexico making triple digits. 101 to Mexico, 17 to Argentina. Still got plenty of time to score. Chino picking up another scoring pass. Dipping under the block. Back Shadow eats a huge back block. Oosh, but he's up and he's okay and he's skating. Naked Alien, no complaints. He knew.
If we get to see a replay on that, I would like to enjoy the way that Black Shadow positioned himself where the only thing he could do if he was going to get contacted was be back blocked.
It's a smart play.
It was brilliant. I'm sure it didn't feel brilliant.
Oh, no, no, no.
But he absolutely set that up where the only contact was going to be illegal.
Yep. So we get hopefully we got a replay of that block there late on at corner 3-4. So a quick shout out, here we go. So, that's the clap there, Alex, from appreciating the offense that came from Tangleman to get him out in the previous jam. Always like that. So quick shout out to Quad Skate Shop, Europe's original brick and mortar skate shop. Outstanding selection with a delivery guarantee. You can also check them out online at quadrollerskateshop.com.
So there is a timeout here by Mexico that's just wrapping up, but there is conversation with the head referee in the penalty box. Optimus Quad, number 22 for Argentina. An egregious forearm penalty. Expulsion being discussed. And now an official review from Argentina, probably to have a conversation about what.
I would not be surprised if they're going, but no, it was not egregious.
Which is interesting strategically. If play is stopped for a timeout, the referees get together and have determined what they have all seen deserves this. You're only throwing. In my mind, you're throwing your official review out the window. You don't know what. You don't want it anymore. You don't like it. There
is only 8 minutes to go, as Very Cherry did just point out. And it was exactly what I was going to say anyway.
In period one, though. And we have so much more to play.
I don't really think there have been many issues where Argentina could really officially review anything and gain much from it. And let's be honest, Optimus Quad is a big player for them. You know, one of the most experienced skaters, third World Cup, plays with Puget Sound. Yes, Puget Sound. So I mean, that's a big player to lose in a game where they're already losing the game significantly.
Over an egregious, forearm penalty. I didn't see any forearm
I didn't
penalty.
see the penalty itself.
It was in a part of the track that we didn't have a great view. If there's a replay, we'll try to get it to you. Look for 22.
Okay, there's Ultima's quad on track. Someone seeing anything here?
Back block.
It's
contact.
a forearms penalty.
Was it there?
There might be some of them.
It could have been right there. It looked like maybe an intentional, almost shoving, punching motion.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it was. I mean, it looked to me. I mean, it was a limited angle from the cameras we saw.
Sure.
But all it looked like was much of like a forearm, a jigging wing in a way is what I refer to it as.
Well, and he's still on track after that aerial attempt there.
So there are wonderful referee Seb coming out to confirm that the expulsion stands. Again, it's one of those ones. If you're going to argue something, it's you got to be sure of it. But I mean, I didn't see the action.
Just there, 99 on this replay. Donette had what looked like a more stiff forearm, if you will, than what I saw coming out of.
And it must not have been that action because.
Guys, if I get you just to move a bit. White team have used their official review. They were looking to overturn a forearm expulsion call on white 2-2. They were not able to provide any further information than what the officials already had. So the forearm expulsion call on white 2-2 will remain. White team lose their official review.
So that clarification from head referee Schreff. One of these things, I'm going to have to wait until we get a chance to watch the whole game back to see that action. It may have been off camera, and there's nothing we can do about that, but I trust these referees at this level to know what's going on and make the decisions as best of their ability. And things just going from bad to worse here for Argentina. Lead jammer Mexico. Chispa, though, looks fired up. He's coming out hot.
Unfortunately for Chispa, he was hit from a direction penalty, not against him, but on him.
By Drigger.
And that opened the door for Silencio to get through and get the 4 points.
But Chispa picks up 4 of his own as well. Box clearing for Argentina. First time I've seen them with all 4 blockers on track for a change.
Chispa, 3 because of a no pass, no penalty on that pass.
And just as I say that about them clearing the penalty box, number 4, Nicolas Bergallo heads to the bin. And 4 more points picked up by Chispa. And Donet heading to the penalty box as well. And, oh no, sorry, heading back out on track. My apologies. Oh, he's heading straight to the bin there as well.
4 3-pack advantage for Mexico. Alex Strom on the jam line for the team in red, Mexico. And then in white, you have number 12 Mr. Cruz.
Alex Strom just knocking KQ off to the outside. Yeah, KQ thought he was issued a penalty, decided to leave the track. But not to him, and so Alex Strom is at the front, all by himself with just 1 to beat. No pass, no penalty, no lead for Mexico and Alex Strom.
Diaz with excellent one-on-one effort up there, but Alex Strom, big, tall, physical skater.
Alex Strom stumbling into Cruz, not taking him down though illegally. It's a forearms penalty on Alex Strom, and he didn't exit quick enough. He went, yep, that is for not going the shortest route off track.
And remember, we talked about leeway, and in that situation, fairly quiet in the arena, easy to hear what's going on. Your leeway leash just got shortened.
Yeah, and 2 quick penalties there for Mexico. Michael C picking up a low block, and now it's just Party Boy, I was about to say all by himself, but Pavlex has left the penalty box now.
Argentinian bench pleading for a call-off because it's a 2-penalty situation.
But not quick enough. KQ picking up one, I think, right there before the end of the jam. So 2-on-2. Yeah, there's Alex Strong getting knocked off the outside there beautifully by number 3 Diaz. This is wonderful defensive jamming there. Just shuts the block. Could have got a low block there. I mean, the initial contact was with his shoulder, but definitely follow through. Lovely hip check, but completely out of play.
Well, now Pibe, since there is still a power jam for Argentina.
They're saving him for power jams.
And not very many blockers out there, which is even more advantageous for Pibe. 2-on-2 is the blocker situation. G.I. Joe came a little high there on Pibe.
Yeah. A lot of space for Pibe to take full advantage of. Maybe he's recovering from an injury and he's not 100%, so they're trying to get him easier jams, as it were, as he ducks under G.I. Joel, picks up another big score.
Pibe's only done that to a couple hundred blockers in his life.
Pretty much everyone who's played against him has been made to look foolish at some point or another. Alex Strom goes incognito, star in hand, dances through for his initial pass. Pibe riding, shall we say, G.I. Joel's blocking gently.
Here comes Pibe on the replay, and here come just a swift shoulder shake, and you're not going to touch him.
Yeah, that duck under he does on the outside line makes fools of us all, Captain Motorboat.
Especially if you try to go at him from the backside first.
Yeah.
He's always going to get right under the hamstring and slip through. 3.5 minutes to go, period number 1. Mexico comfortably ahead, 121-53 on the jam line for Mexico. It's Chino.
Up against Chispa for Argentina. Lovely, lovely block by Donne, but I thought it was going to be a no pass, no penalty because Donne went off track, but it's a cut track because he cut 2 of his own players.
He cut his own players. Yeah. In these situations, track awareness as a jammer, you have to know. Better be safe than sorry.
Yep. And that is a lead jammer to Argentina and a penalty to G.I. Joel.
G.I. Joel skates for TXMRD in Texas.
And Chispa takes a big hit there from Drigger at the front, braced off by Party Boy as they rotate and waterfall around. Offense coming in. Opens up for Chispa and 5 points for Argentina. Hiccup mid-word.
That was almost an unfortunate hiccup mid-word.
Heavy Dolce coming in with the offense. And it's illegal with the forearms. But Chispa took advantage of the distraction for 5 more.
Chino quickly around the track. Met 0 resistance. That's that initial pass now done. This time a little bit more stiff blocking from Victor. We're going to go timeout now for Team Mexico.
And during this team timeout, let's have a word from our sponsors.
This timeout brought to you by Sucker Punch Skate Shop, the largest Derby-owned and operated store in Europe. Operating online and actually having a physical store, heavily involved in the European Derby community on a number of levels. Best known for reliable service, honest advice, competitive prices, and top-notch quality products with a huge product range. That's Sucker Punch Skate Shop. Just under 20 seconds to go in the timeout. Mexico trying probably to capitalize on these last 2 minutes of period number 1. They've had a good go of things for a while, but now the penalties are starting to mount up for the blockers from Mexico. I'm sure that there's a lot of conversation about cleaning up these last 2 minutes so that they don't waste any of those precious penalties going into the next period.
Yeah, I think there's a chance here for a turnaround for Argentina, but I think it's going to have to be a drastic change in style as Black Shadow goes up against Silencio.
You got to wonder if that expulsion, what did it do to the thought process for Argentina? Did it inspire them Did it devastate them? Are they just next up mentality?
They can have quite interesting effects. I've seen games where it's changed it for the positive and for the negative quite drastically. Got very bright on that camera for a second there. That was interesting. Just watching the feed output was very, very bright. Back on track though, Silencio has a chance here to make his way through, but a back block penalty.
We still have a helmet cover for the pivot of Argentina lying in between the the jam and pivot line.
And it is Black Shadow trying to find some space at the front. Nawal and
that helmet cover situation, it could
sorry.
That's the helmet cover situation could end up being critical if Black Shadow is not able to get a pass and wants to do a star pass. It's not something that's going to be accomplished.
Well, if it's happened in natural gameplay, it is something that is noticed and taken care of. But I'll just drop you back for a second. A big hit by Tangleman there on Oscars at corner 3. Tangleman really trying to stamp his authority on this game here. Those big, strong shoulder checks.
Silencio on the inside. A sea of humanity pushing off multiple players.
We've got Diaz there just feeding Silencio into that brace 3 by Heavy Dolce and Oscars. Sorry, not Oscars, Leo.
Slipping into almost a rugby scrum there, but out to the outside comes Silencio.
Picking up 4 points in that pass. That should be our half time. After a very, very strong opening from Mexico. Now that expulsion, I think, did change things to the positive, looking at Argentina's score now compared to it in earlier on. It's very interesting how this goes into the second here. We're gonna prep some stats for you during the halftime. We'll come back to you and let you know the full story of the numbers in approximately, shall we say 10 minutes?
Let's call 10 minutes if you join us back. It'll be captain on captain action once again.
We'll be talking all those sweet, sweet numbers. Good afternoon, welcome back here to the M14 track in sunny Barcelona. I am Captain Malice, alongside me, Captain Motorboater, and our producer, Very Cherry. We have some wonderful, frightening stats for you. Going over to Captain Motorboater with the numbers.
Argentina, 43 penalties in the half. Mexico, 25. Mexico, only 2 players in any sort of danger of penalties with 4. 3 blockers for Argentina, sitting on 6 penalties in the first half. KQ, Boresio, and Donet, all with 6 penalties. And we're already having an expulsion from their team.
Yeah, there is a very high risk of them being depleted down to 10 skaters within a couple of jams here.
And all really their most quality blockers, probably experienced. Yep. And you're going to see folks like Sosa and Heavy Dolce having to do all of the heavy lifting here in the second half.
And Heavy Dolce's picked up a handful of penalties as well, so he can't be far away from the danger zone.
I didn't get a stat on it, but I'm going to assume at minimum 3, probably in the 4 range.
I think 4 or 5.
So Argentina, to say they're in a little bit of penalty trouble would be an understatement. But if you look at the way the half ended, the last 10 minutes, I would suggest that at least half of the penalties Mexico got were in the last 10 minutes. Yep. And you saw the points reflected.
It is one of those ones where I think, as we discussed in the first half, the expulsion to Optimus Quad actually was to Argentina's benefit. Maybe not on track, but in their mentality. Knowing that they had lost such a significant player, they had to up their game, they had to up their discipline and you know, rearrange themselves on track to be better.
Fortunately, the danger with the penalty situation for Argentina isn't to their jammers. So the folks that can put points on the board are safe, they're looking good. But if they can get their energy level up, if they can draw Mexico into that pattern of penalties that they saw in the last 10 minutes, this game is not over.
But as the saying goes, it is blockers who earn penalties, or earn points even, and jammers who harvest them. So, I mean, losing their experienced blockers here could hurt their abilities to earn those points.
We'll see how they rotate their blockers through differently to try to protect anybody in actual danger.
If they choose to, they might just let nature run its course. As we have Chispa take the star for Argentina up against 164 Carl Lefou.
I will suggest that first jam in, not a single 6 penaltied skater on the track.
Sharp of the whistle, and Chispa and Carl Lefou are released. Chispa knocked down to the outside and run back by Dr. Manhattan. Carl Lefou stuck behind a braced 4, very slow moving, not even hitting corner 1 or even the pivot line yet. Drigger coming in for the offense though, can't open up a gap for Carl Lefou. Carl Lefou at the front, just going to corner 2, getting some offensive assistance again by Drigger, but 3 wall in front of him being supported now up to 4. Dropping in to maintain the pack does go number 44, Chilo Moreno.
Carl Lefou continuing to push on that 2 wall now of Argentina, spreading the defense out. While behind the pack, you have Chispa just stuck in what looks like proverbial Mexican mud over there. It can't get free from an incredibly well-orchestrated defensive pack.
Carl Lefou, though, I believe a flailing arm going into Victor. Apologies, Victor's head going into Carl Lefou, and Victor's taking the worst of that, so he's going to take a 30-second sit down to heal his nose.
They call that, what's that, insult to injury, right?
Yeah, he's headed straight to the bin, so now Carl Lefou, he's got 30 seconds to get out on a scoring pass here. Lead not been earned, he says, as it's earned. So, gonna ice that one because Carl Lefou is gassed. Like, he just fought for 1 minute 30.
A minute 30 to get lead to call it off.
Yep.
And ultimately not calling it off because of exhaustion, but to trap the Argentinian jammer in the box.
And send out fresh legs to take full advantage. And what a pair of legs to send out in Silencio. Not just trying on his leg, but his ability as a skater more than anything else. But here we have a power start for Mexico and Silencio. Only a 3 wall out there for Argentina.
Silencio gets low, attacks the 3 wall from Argentina, gets a nice offensive block by Naked Alien. Now it's a 2 wall to get through. Silencio, lead jammer Mexico. Cheese balls, Barracks, penalty box, empty. All the skaters back on the track doing what they're trying to do.
Silencio at the front trying to find some way through. Yeah, much calmer than we had in the first half from Argentina and Mexico. Ended quite frantically from Mexico, but much more stable. Oh, nearly catching there was Sanchez, but not enough on the hit to take down Silencio.
It's probably best for both teams right now to get this calm approach to it. The frenetic, tense pace of the first period obviously led to too many penalties for Argentina.
And
Mexico got off of their game plan in the last 10 minutes of that. So both teams, I think, know they'll have better results if they can maintain a little bit more relaxed pace.
And discipline. I think both are important here as the star has been passed across the top to Sanchez, forcing Silencio to call the jam, but by now he's already racked up a healthy chunk of points. 13 there for Mexico. Argentina gets the score. All handshakes and smiles at the jam line as Cruz lines up against Chino.
Brace 3 wall, back it up to Chino, but Chino sidesteps quickly around an attempt by Moreno. Lead jammer now for Chino.
Yeah, issued a little bit late. I think it was just double checking there wasn't a no pass and penalty, and there are some other possible penalty call. But Chino is your lead jammer and already completing his first scoring pass for 5 points.
Just chest to chest through Leia to get that 5. This time Cruz gets through on the initial pass. Chino steps to the inside and taps and calls.
Nothing picked up there by Cruz, and a further 3 points, so 8 in total for Mexico. Commanding lead already here as they approach a 82-point differential. I was going to say 90 and then realized that was wrong. Vasquez with the star, number 26, up against Alex Strom. First time out for Vasquez. Alex Strom's first one in this second half. Vasquez being recycled back behind Tangleman. Party Boy has to have a one-man party in the penalty box. The cheese ball's bearing penalty box.
If anyone's going to have a good one-man party, it's going to be Party Boy.
Hell yeah. Out the front, Alex Strom already out on a scoring pass. Vasquez being recycled behind Pablex. Tangleman joining Party Boy.
I was just about to mention the methodic pace at which Mexico was playing, and now they switched frenetically and start dropping right into the penalty box. So Mexico's got to get to their bench and talk through how their methodic, slower pace of play, focusing on defense, is going to keep them in this position.
Yeah.
But as soon as they start to lose that, you see them marching quickly to the penalty box.
As we have a third blocker heading in the form of Naked Alien, who also might be losing a knee pad there as it was nearly falling off him. Vasquez finally makes his way out of the pack, completing his initial pass.
Argentina not doing themselves any favors with their blockers also heading to the penalty box in mass numbers.
It's like at halftime, they all had a good sit down, went, we'll behave better in the second half. And, you know, we're 7 minutes in, they've just gone, it was more fun first way.
It's more fun when I'm getting yelled at by referees.
Carla Free. Pibe was the highest scorer in the first half for Argentina in a single jam. And Carla Fu, captain for Mexico here with the star. Very aware of the threat Pibe places, goes defenses straight away. Even with the blocker advantage, he is basically doing 4D. Now it's just 3 as Michael C takes a sit down. And Carla Fu stuck behind, I believe that's number 3. Yep, number 3, Diaz. And Pibe gets lead jammer.
Blocking Pibe has got to be like trying to hold onto water with your bare hands. It just doesn't stick.
Yeah. But he tries to fly, and Drigger pops him off in midair. Illegally. Goes for a sit down.
Okay. The idea was right, but the direction was wrong. And that's going to get you in a box for a short period.
Maybe he's just tired. Drigger's been working live. We have had a star pass here to Naked Alien. Carla Fu now trying to block Pibe and whiffs.
I think that we would do served well for the rest of Derby life if they would give us explanations of what their name means. When I see Naked Alien, I wondered, are all extraterrestrials outside of the planet Earth naked? Do they come with clothes? Does he know this?
That's a fair point. I do believe Pibe, the name is means the man, although I'm going to freely admit I do not speak Spanish. But I believe that was what I remember from 2014. Naked Alien, maybe he just finds it funny. Who knows? We'll ask him after. Silencio with the star for Argentina, though. Trying to find some way through a really tough four-wall. Here comes offense from Drigger trying to break that up as Heavy Dolce comes back on track. Silencio is just still trying to find a way past and does get past most. Offense again by Drigger opens up the gap. Silencio gets the jammer and Black Shadow gets a cut track and misconduct for not exiting via the shortest route.
That's 2 times that's happened to Black Shadow, so.
Yeah, you want to make a 90-degree turn to the right and skate forwards. That is the safest way. Whilst it may be dorky, it is correct. And we're all about being correct here and factual facts.
Silencio just tough on that 2-wall, but a great job positionally blocking by one of your 6 penalty owners. Let's call it 7 now. That's going to be,
he knows it,
the last moments of the contest for number 99, Donette.
But a cut shot by Silencio, so he's going to take a sit down for 30. That's a very good point. The jammer did have the 2 penalties. He had a whole minute to serve, but as one jammer has come in, he has been released. So he must have served at least 30 seconds, which will mean Silencio will have 30 seconds to serve himself.
If he hadn't served up to 30 seconds, he still would have had to stay
and Silencio
the full 30 seconds, and Silencio may have gotten released.
Well, Silencio would have been instantaneously released, and Black Shadow would have served only one
30-second penalty.
I believe. I am not a referee. I
neither.
Can't think about rules and skate at the same time.
Maybe this is one of those times where Twitter will explode with all of the actual rules, and they'll say,
yep, we'll
hey,
be corrected.
announcers, you guys should know these things. And we're like, yep.
Probably should. We just talk about roller derby, though. Our job.
G-Spa versus Chino. Centered up at the jam line.
And Chino popped off to the outside by number 3, Victor Diaz. Chino now still trying to find some way past the brace 3. Chino looks to be taking his time and not too frantic. I think he's aware of his own penalties. Does have a lead jam for G-Spa. Can't take full advantage as Michael C. Yes. Tangleman? No, Party Boy at the front doing some lovely work. Penalty issued, a low block to Victor Diaz.
That'll be the 7th penalty for Victor.
That's 2. And the last remaining one is, I believe, is the, off the top of my head, was number 4, Bagano.
Let me correct myself. It was not Victor with 6. It's Regio number 4. So
Regio and KQ number 2. Not seen him yet this time. So Victor Diaz should be released shortly. He is standing in the penalty box. Out at the front, G.I. Joel trying to find a way through. The star pass has been passed to G.I. Joel. And G.I. Joel has 2 to beat in the form of Sousa. Oh! Bagalo saw G.I. Joel escaping and said, nope. Came charging out from corner 3, smacking G.I. Joel down hard at corner 4 and recycling him all the way back. Not an easy guy to knock down, G.I. Joel.
G.I. Joel having a conversation maybe about that hit, looking for, you know, a little bit of help from the referees to.
Well, he did have the star pass. Maybe he was just querying if he got any points. You never know. 5 points picked up there for Argentina. 81 plays 167. That is an 86-point lead from Mexico.
Number 12, Cruz on the jam line for Argentina. Jumping out in front and getting the lead jammer. It is Cruz.
Cruz is already out on a scoring pass, nearly about to get in there.
Alex Storm, initial pass completed for Mexico.
This is the first meeting between Mexico and Argentina at a World Cup. And going off previous rankings, this may not be the result people were expecting. Argentina did go through as a first-place seed. Mexico going through as a second-place seed. They lost their game to Canada in the group stages, but were the highest ranked of the second seeds. And coming out here showing maybe they deserve to be higher ranked. Putting on very strong display against Argentina.
Official timeout. Might be some clarification on points. So not an official timeout, more like an official regroup. Maybe a quick conversation, a couple of shared words, but we're back to gameplay ready.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of track maintenance was required. I didn't see anyone out there, but it's always required when we have the men's derby. Carlos Fusi's the guy on the outside for a quick lead channel from Mexico. Follow the leader attempted by Vasquez, but shut down by Michael C. Party Boy just clips Vasquez off on the outside. Looked like an elbow to me, but must have been the upper arm. Very tricky line to check from our angle.
Carla Fu only 4 on that because of a no pass, no penalty, not the 5.
The full 5, only a 4. Cool. Carla Fu spun around on the outside as a forearms penalty is issued. 2:44. However, he did cut the other jump. No, it was only the number 44 he was going to cut. I thought it was the other block he was being issued the cut on.
On his way to the box, already throwing up the official review sign because he was very certain he did not cut the track. And
he was very confident. He was right. Didn't even have to call the official review. At this level, the refereeing does get corrected very quickly.
Michael C with a forearm. For Mexico, Party Boy and Sosa back on the track after spending time in the box. The cheese ball bearings penalty box.
Yeah, Sosa being goated straight away by Party Boy. And Nawal picking up a direction of gameplay penalty.
A bit sloppy on this jam for both teams.
Yeah, it seems to be that when things start to go a little sloppy, they get very sloppy. There's no sort of like, oh, just pick up one penalty. It's 30 penalties or nothing.
It's the slippery slope of derby sometimes.
Yeah.
Pibe on the track then gets waved back off the track because we have a jammer for Argentina in the penalty box. So Pibe is going to have to wait his turn, if you will. Vasquez is standing, so just a brief power start for Mexico.
Silencio going to take full advantage, runs into a brace 3. Vasquez already released, runs into Naked Alien. Naked Alien in a 2-wall, getting disrupted by current captain Bagallo.
Stiff shoulder by Naked Alien.
Lead jammer to Argentina. No! Cut track.
Vasquez comes out, gets cut track, goes back in.
Yeah.
Silencio dips under a hip. Now Silencio earns lead jammer.
Bagallo waiting now on the outside, not going to be drawn back. Going to allow Leah and 28, sorry. So Vasquez, Sanchez, sorry, to work together, trying to start Silencio. No dice. Bagallo re-entered on the no pack call, as he has to. And being goated now by Naked Alien and Nawal. Silencio rounds the outside of Bagallo's hips as Vasquez comes back on track and serving his time. Vasquez eats a big shoulder from Michael C. and is drawn back onto the straightaway.
40 seconds left in the jam. Silencio leisurely stroll around turn 3 and 4 to re-engage with the pack.
Leisurely. As Silencio is already back in and drawn backwards by number 28. That is Sanchez. Vasquez just trying to find anything he can do there on the straightaway. But Mexico had him all locked down. Here we see on the replay. Naked Alien sees Vasquez going big shoulder and draws him backwards. Pibe now on track.
With Cheeto from Mexico. 88 versus 0-8. If you're keeping score at home.
That's not the scores, those are the shed numbers. The scores are 83 to Argentina, 202 to Mexico. Mexico outscoring Argentina by over a ratio of 2-1 these days. Big change in the power balance between the two nations based off the rankings.
Coming away from this entire tournament, I think that everybody is going to scratch their head a little bit from Argentina. A lot expected, not as much delivered as is expected now.
Yep. And Canada as well will be the other one who have been beaten by underdogs, shall we say.
Argentina is going to have to watch their prodigal son Pibe go to the box.
Yeah, I mean, he thought he had a no pass, no penalty, and when you've got your talismanic jammer, you know, not playing, and then when he does not succeeding, it's concerning. And unfortunately for Argentina, they have given up a power jam to Chino, but Chino looks tired, like it's been a minute, and he's still not earned that lead jammer.
Plenty of time here for Mexico to switch and transition to some offense. Blocker help getting back on track.
2 to beat for Chino, popped to the inside by Heavy Dolce. Pibe is already released. Good penalty kill by Argentina. And now Pibe completes his initial pass legally. As again, oh, with authority. Who was Party Boy? No, number 7, Tangleman. It's usually one or the other with the big hits. Tangleman knocking down Leah, stopping the run back on Silencio, who calls the jam straight away. He didn't even need to. There's only 2 seconds left on the game clock. But yeah, that lovely block by Leah, and boom! Tangleman says, sit down.
Mexico puts Alex Strom on the jam line, number 30 in red, taking on Black Shadow, number 7.
Yeah, going back to our earlier conversations, Captain, I mean, there must be something up with Pibe. He's barely playing. When he plays, he doesn't look his usual liquid self. Yeah. So maybe it must be something, and it's definitely hurting Argentina's rankings here. And all those penalties they picked up as well, also hurting them. As Alex Strom picks up lead jammer.
Alex Strom adjusting all of his equipment after that move, ready to engage the pack for a scoring opportunity for Mexico. Assessing as he rolls into a brace 3, splits the center. Sosa standing straight up and just leaning, but
yeah, G.I. Joel did the work there.
Alex Strom able to push through with the help. Gets the 5 in the sky.
Yeah, that's one thing we have seen very well from Mexico when they do have all 4 on track. They're very confident in their brace 3, so they're happy, more than happy to drop that +1 off for offense effectively.
Especially when G.I. Joel is on the floor, generally in the pivot position, but he's an excellent offensive blocker.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a lot of options here for the pivots who have looked really, really strong. Trash has jammed quite successfully for Mexico previously. One they can always throw the star on, as is Naked Alien. Good strength throughout the roster.
Carl LeFou on the jam line for Mexico. Number 12, Cruz for Argentina. Multiplayer block against Cruz. Lead jammer now for Carl LeFou. Carl LeFou peeks to the outside. Gets a chest full of Heavy Dolce and reroutes to the inside.
See, without knowing who Heavy Dolce is, a chest full of Heavy Dolce sounds nice. Delicious. I do not want to experience that in my lifetime. Ooh, so, Carl LeFou. No, it's
cut track.
Thought it was going to be a forearm just based on the back of the jam referee. Obviously not where you learn the hand signals from.
Cruz through 4. Initial pass, Argentina now poised to put points on the board. 2-4 blocker advantage. Cruz. And Argentina doesn't use any of them, just the Cruz missile straight into the chest of Party Boy.
Yeah, but Party Boy and Tangleman are powerhouses of formidable shoulder checking, and a reverse apex jump by Tangleman to draw Cruz all the way back to corner 3. Party Boy knows he did the bad thing, and he's going for a sit-down. Carlafu back on track, though.
But an excellent kill there. Only 4. Did they get 5? Yeah, the 5-point registered. Should be a 4-point registry there for Argentina. Back that off.
So it is only 4 points being issued.
Yeah, it looked like there was a no pass, no penalty on the 5th point.
But Carlafu coming out from the box, picking up 5. And a further, I want to say 4? 4 picked up by Cruz down his last scoring pass. We have 5 minutes left on the clock. Argentina on 92, Mexico on 217. For those of you just joining us after the ending of the game on the Royal Derby City track.
Official timeout for equipment. Somebody's lost the cap to their knee pad.
Well, safety is of paramount importance here in Royal Derby.
And it was a blocker for Argentina who was actually on the track, so he was about to attempt to block unprotected from that right knee.
Always important to be safe on those knees. But yes, Argentina have lost 1 skate to a foul and 1 to an expulsion in the first half. And Mexico have been in a commanding lead since then. So we now have Chispa up against Silencio. Chispa for Argentina in the white and blue, and Mexico in red and white.
It's tough to see the Argentinian bench from here, but I believe that KQ is probably also fouled out of this contest. Was sitting on 6, and I have not seen KQ on the track for quite some time, so I'm going to use the powers of assumption to say that
he was either benched or already received that penalty, and we missed it. Big collection of bodies dropping at corner 3, but as we see on this lovely bit of work by Silencio, rides the hit but out of place, so he's just going to get to go straight away.
There's KQ on the track just as I called, so
well, it's late in the game now, so if he fouls out here with 4 minutes left on the clock, it's not as huge a risk.
Borrejero has just skated off the track and into the crowd, so that I can tell you from experience is going to be considered a foul out.
So potentially if KQ does foul out in this, and that will be 4 skaters lost for Argentina from penalties. Jam starts, jam ends.
We were going to start, but we're not going to start. The delay of the game penalty is what I think is being assessed against Argentina.
I'm unsure for what reason. No captain, because it was their captain who just fouled out.
So you have to leave the sea behind. You can't have a captainless ship.
Well, there are two of us sat here at the announce table.
We're just hanging out. No one asks us to help.
I quite happily lead. Producer believes that we would sink the ship, Captain Motorboater. My good name has been sullied.
You're not sullied.
I'm fairly certain that that was a disparaging remark against the size of us, Captain.
Oh, no. Very Cherry would never question.
Can you believe that she is saying that we are so...
She would only question our competency, not
I think the size of our personalities.
Indeed. As we waffle and talk nonsense here over at the M14 track. Thank you for joining us after the culmination of the game over the Royal Derby City track. Hope you enjoyed England versus Australia. We have no idea of the result of that, and I have no more data on my phone, so you can't even tweet me or DM me and let me know what happened. I'm going to have to find out the old-fashioned way by walking over and asking someone who looks happy or sad.
I thought you were about to say I'm going to find out the old-fashioned way and read the paper.
We won't make the papers. Maybe the final. But we have 4 minutes and 4 seconds on the clock. 4:04, one for you internet geeks like me to laugh about.
Moreno is going to serve the misconduct penalty, the delay of game penalty for not having the C.
He was already sat in the box, so I believe he will serve an extra 30 seconds on top.
Correctamundo.
Heavy Dolce there on the run back, but Alex Strom doesn't get shots. It must have been a no pass, no penalty. There can't be a no pass, no penalty. He is lead. Must have re-entered safely. There we go. Heavy Dolce thought he had the run back, but we have number 26, Vasquez, already out quickly. Silencio gonna call the jam. Vasquez unable to pick up points there at corner 1. Silencio picks up the 4.
Mexico's going to roll out an official review. We'll see what that's all about. I'll tell you about the incredible sponsors that we have at this tournament. The Cheese Balls Bearings penalty box we have discussed over and over again, but they are the most reliable, longest lasting bearing available at affordable prices. Check them out online or at your local skate shop at cheeseballs.com. Also, the official merchandise for the Men's Roller Derby World Cup 2018 can be purchased online at MRDWC.com/merch. Only it's going to be available after the Men's Roller Derby World Cup finishes.
For those of you who have been watching us here over on the M14 track, I have the official final score from the Roller Derby City track, and I'm watching Very Cherry's face read that. And are you ready for this? When I last saw it, it was 180 to England, 179 to Australia. But Australia had a 4-point lead just prior to that jam. It ended Australia on 221, England on 224. Very Cherry, very happy about that result. That will mean it will be England versus the victors of USA France, which will be coming up on the Roller Derby City track shortly. And there will be Canada versus Wales here at the M14 track. Coming up after this game, we're going to go over to Schreff, our head referee, with the response for the official review.
Red team have used their official review. They are looking for a back block call to be issued to the white jammer in the last jam. The officials saw the action. A back block contact to the back was made, but the jammer never gained any position because of it, disengaged and legally passed the blockers afterwards. Therefore, the no back block call will stand, and red team will lose their official review.
Wonderful explanation there from Schreff for why that wasn't called. No impact, no penalty.
Nice mic drop from Schreff.
Yeah, Schreff there not treating the equipment with quite as much care and attention as some of us might have. Back on track though, Chino with the star for Mexico up against number 08, Pibe. Pibe picks up lead jammer.
Pibe looking smooth through that transition, now in a position to put points on the board for Argentina. Pibe gets low and slinky to the outside.
And he's got to try and find some way through a strong Mexican wall. Not going to have a huge impact on the end result here of this game. But as we saw earlier on with New Zealand versus Chile, they really wanted to get that 3-digit mark, that 100 points, as we have had a star pass to G.I. Joel, who will serve this penalty as a jammer.
Pibe with 5 on the board for Argentina.
And he's going to want to pick up these points himself. He's going to want to get the Argentina into triple digits by himself. A big offense coming in, and he beam dips under the hips of the Mexican blocker, picking up a second 5, putting Argentina onto 102.
That was Driga, 86, who Pibe just slipped right under the hamstrings on that very low position.
As we said before, there is not a blocker in roller derby that Pibe has faced. He probably hasn't made whiff like that at some point or another.
G.I. Joel back on the track, engaged with the pack. Initial pass completed.
Yeah, El Pibe took a shot whip, I believe, off one of his teammates to get around the corner of 3 and 4.
Pibe with a loose skate strap on the left skate. Hopefully that doesn't come into play.
Yeah, he spins around and off the walls, trying to find some space through, stays inbounds, upright, just got to get past Tango, who lets him go because he realizes he's out of play. Yeah, it's the Velcro of his skate has just come loose. Big jam for El Pibe. Pick up 19 points to Mexico's 4 in that jam. Ghana's back into an almost 2-for-1 ratio in favor of Mexico.
Carl LeFou on the jam line for Mexico, squaring off against Black Shadow from Argentina.
Cheeseball bearings. Find your stride with the original handmade bearing. Cheeseball skate bearings at cheeseballs.com. Black Shadow trying to find space down the inside edge. Carl LeFou sees that gap open up for himself and takes full advantage. Lead jammer Mexico. Black Shadow comes sprinting out of the pack though himself. Gonna go chasing down on Carl LeFou. Carl LeFou gonna call that jam in time. Only picks up 2 himself. We should see another jam here as I watch the jam clock count down.
You can see on Carl LeFou's face, his intention was to get that called off to allow for one more jam for Mexico, Argentina. We have to maximize the amount of gameplay. We didn't fly all the way to Barcelona to watch short games.
No. Oh, official timeout. Yeah, Cruz just caught there, nearly went sprinting into G.I. Joel. Let's have a quick official timeout. I think we're just double checking the clock.
Pibe coming around on this replay. Look at the dip to the outside, and you think you can get him with the backside, but you're breezing by a set of hamstrings.
Yeah, you watch that replay every time you think stuff. I can get Pibe with a reverse hip check. You can't.
You can't. And then Pibe shaking his head, coming. Look at the speed that he's able to carry, and shakes you outside. It's the same result for the same replay.
Straight away. Look, there's nothing you can do. You think you got it. And on any other skater, I would have expected that hip check to land. Pibe, nope.
Four seconds left in
Cruz
this
is
contest.
Ready. Silencio is ready. Mexico are ready. Argentina are ready. Cruz nearly takes out a referee, but Trigger takes a forearm penalty. Cruz rounds the hips of Pablex, takes a stumble alien, naked alien, gets back in front to hold him off. With G.I. Joel, forearms penalty assessed on Cruz, and lead jammer goes to Silencio. Period clock has completed.
Argentina thought they had Silencio caught in a cut track position, but the forearm penalty that pushed him out of bounds allowed him to get back up and keep rolling to get that lead jammer.
Silencio now with a chance to extend the lead. The Mexico have already confirmed the win. This is now just all for pride. Oh, with authority to the inside comes the block from Diaz. And Silencio says, like, nah, I've had enough. I'll have them 5 points. I'll have a sit down.
A nice embrace by G.I. Joel and Silencio as they go arm in arm back to the rest of the team to celebrate this victory over Argentina.
Gonna wait for this to be the official final score. Currently at 111 to 234. Going back to my earlier point, Captain Murderburner, this is not the outcome many people may have expected here. Previous rankings and the rankings coming into this game, Argentina very comfortably.
I will suggest that this is exactly the outcome that Mexico had expected. You could see throughout this tournament, the confidence they've been building, the gameplay has continued to elevate. The defense has just been phenomenal. And that was on display against Argentina.
Yep.
They walked into this contest expecting to win, maybe not by the points differential that they did, but there was no doubt in the minds of that team in red that they were going to walk out of this victorious.
Yeah, I mean, going back to the group stage games, Canada versus Mexico, the Mexican penalties, how it's so detrimental to them that if they had been disciplined in that game, when they did have all 5 players on track against all 5 Canadian players, or even less, they were very, very competitive. If they'd had that discipline there, this could have been a very different outcome. Mexico, though, did not beat Canada and therefore ended up playing a higher seeded team in England and were defeated there, but did not look out of depth at any point in that game. And at very many points in the first half, looked to be winning the jams.
We'll see how this kind of momentum for Mexico continues as they develop this program and see what effects it has on the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, well, I don't know if they will have another game. And I think they will have play the victors of this game coming up, Canada, Wales. So we could very potentially see Canada versus Mexico again.
Again.
Or, what could be very interesting, the very experienced Welsh team versus Mexico, who are highly skilled. Either way, coming up here at the M14 track, it will be Canada versus Wales, a rematch of so many other previous meetings. As one of my compatriots, Statman, has always said, the Welsh think they are tough, the Canadians are tough.
Oh, no.
And we'll see how that goes out. I think we might be looking at another potential upset here. I have been Captain Malice, alongside me.
I'm Captain Motorboater.
And we've had the pleasure of being produced by the lovely Very Cherry. Thank you all, and enjoy our next game.